Lionel Messi wins the World Cup. Greatest of all time debate settled. As Lionel Messi finally lifts the ultimate prize in football, his case to be the greatest of all time becomes the strongest it has ever been. We take a look at the conversation and the legends who are part of it, as Messi wins the biggest prize that eluded him for his whole career. For many fans, he also settles the greatest of all time debate once and for all. While undoubtedly one of the greatest to ever play the game, the FIFA World Cup trophy-sized hole in his cabinet was often cited as the biggest gap in his career. Not anymore. Like his footballing predecessor Diego Maradona, Messi has shepherded his football-crazy country to the pinnacle of the world game. The greatest of all time debate is football's most contested conversation, eliciting strong opinions and a lot of disagreement. Often due to fans' loyalties, the debate pushes people to extreme positions, pedestalizing one player while diminishing another. Ultimately, there is no objective metric to compare the greatness of players spanning across generations and situations. However, what is possible to do is to have a conversation that respects footballing context before making an informed opinion. Pele, the original GOAT. Pele was football's first global superstar, possibly the best paid athlete of his era from 1956 to 1977. He averaged just about a goal a game for his entire career, scoring a whopping 757 goals in 831 official games. He was also an underrated creative player with a record of 8 assists in his World Cup career. Till date, he is the only player who has won the World Cup 3 times, once in 1958, 1962, and 1970, doing so in only 4 attempts. Pele's case to be the greatest of all time is both helped and hindered by just how long ago he played. On one hand, nostalgia attaches mythical status to Pele, whose legend has grown over time. At the same time, many modern fans raise questions about the context he played in, specifically the level of competition he faced. Without a lot of game footage, Pele's greatness will always be a matter of fierce debate, with no way to definitively settle the issue. But one thing is for certain, the game of football would not be the same without him. Diego Maradona, the football romantic. If Pele was a symbol of the purity of this beautiful game, Maradona was his fallen angel. Notorious for his bohemian lifestyle, Maradona was the definition of a wayward genius. He had skill that would defy logic and heart to go with it. When opponents were unable to stop him legally, they would kick him to the ground, a practice that referees were far more lenient with back in the day. However, Maradona always got back up and played like nothing had happened. While his actual output was modest in comparison to some other players in this list, the sad truth is that the peak of his career was short-lived. Maradona's case to be the greatest of all time is based on how gifted he was, and how he made everyone who was watching him feel. Crucially, he always rose to the occasion, with his exploits in the 1986 World Cup widely considered to be the greatest individual performance in a football tournament. The ultimate player for the football romantic, Maradona was venerated everywhere he played, from Napoli to Buenos Aires. Johan Cruyff, the football philosopher. Few players have had as tremendous an impact on the game of football as Johan. Cruyff overcame his physical limitations with sheer footballing genius and strength of will. His game would be defined by his positional versatility and tactical displays. He was voted as the European Player of the Century in the 1999 poll, coming second to Pele in the World Player voting. Cruyff's greatest of all time case is based on just how transformative his play style and football philosophy have been. It is his influence that laid foundations for modern positional plays, with an emphasis on creating space in different contexts on the pitch. From Pep Guardiola's incomparable Barcelona team of the late 2000s and early 2010s to the World Cup winning Spanish team of 2010, Cruyff's legacy has touched modern football unlike any other player. After hanging up his boots, Cruyff had a very successful managerial career. Zinedine Zidane, the complete midfielder. Zizou, as he was fondly called, remains the gold standard for midfield excellence. In a playing career spanning around 17 years, he won every single individual and team accolade possible, including a World Cup in 1998, France's first ever. A complete playmaker, he was renowned for his elegance, vision, passing, ball control, and technique. Zidane also had a maverick streak to him, a streak that would only add to his mythical stature. Zidane's claim to the greatest of all time status is based on the sheer range he had in his game, and his ability to single-handedly will his team to victory in any way imaginable. In the 1998 World Cup final, Zidane was the man of the match, scoring 2-headed goals when heading was probably the last skill he was renowned for. Yet the brilliance of Zidane lies in the fact that he was a complete footballer. Even today, Zidane remains the benchmark for midfield excellence. Cristiano Ronaldo, taking goal scoring to the absolute zenith. Football fans have been spoiled by the sheer goal-scoring output of Cristiano Ronaldo at his peak. Beginning his career as a flamboyant yet not always efficient winger, Cristiano transformed into a goal-scoring machine in his peak years, a flawless physical specimen. Cristiano perfected the art of finishing, whether it be with his feet, body, or head. Over his career, he has won every personal and club accolade he could, including an improbable victory in the Euros of 2016. Cristiano's case to be the greatest of all time is based on sustaining previously unheard of goal-scoring numbers, forming a legendary rivalry with Messi. Over his club career, he has contributed 636 goals in 651 games, with another 118 goals scored for Portugal. At his absolute peak, he was averaging around 40 club goals and 10 assists a season. Cristiano's greatness lies in the way in which he normalized goal scoring over a long period of time. Ronaldo Nazario, the ephemeral star. Brazil's Ronaldo for many is the most talented player of his generation, with a career severely truncated by injuries. El Fenomeno, as he was lovingly called, possessed a breakneck pace with decision-making to match, beating players before they could even figure out what was happening. His early years saw him put up video game numbers in different settings. For instance, in his only season for Barcelona in 1996 to 1997, he scored 47 times in 51 appearances. However, knee injuries at the turn of the century robbed him of some of his early magic. Even though he played at the top level till 2007, Fenomeno had a shorter career and even shorter peak than many others on this list. Yet his greatest of all time claim lies in the fact that in this period of time, before his career was rocked with injuries, his play and production were unparalleled in football history. One of his biggest achievements was returning from injury to the Brazil team in 2002 and becoming the biggest contributor to a successful World Cup campaign. Lionel Messi sustaining excellence. Leo Messi has combined Maradona's magic with unmatched production. Over the course of his career, he has scored 592 goals, club plus international games, and assisted another 350 times. Along the way, he has wowed players and fans alike with his sublime skill, vision, and audacity to try the unimaginable. All this in a modern era where advanced analytics and video footage help opponents know all facets of a player's game, all the tiny tendencies which were previously missed. Messi's greatest of all time case is simple: sustained excellence. Previously, players of his ilk had short, effervescent peaks but faded either due to injuries, indifference, or simply getting figured out. Messi's own idol, Diego Maradona, is the perfect example. The fact that Messi has kept his magic alive for such a long period is the ultimate testament to his greatness. This World Cup win is a storybook ending to a legendary career. His trophy cabinet is now complete, and with it is his case to be the greatest player to ever play the game. There is nothing more he can do.